Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome back to the Zero Society Jester, where we're going to be continuing our look at inside pitch baseball. Of course, this is made by Inside Sports Games. Thanks, big shout out to these guys for supplying me a copy of the game so I could get it out there and show everyone how this game plays and show you some examples and hopefully do some tutorial for you guys that are a little unfamiliar with the system. So hopefully I'm doing a good job for you guys just to kind of understand the flow of the game. Anyways, we're at the top of the sixth. We have no outs. Looks like St. Louis is up 1-0 here. And we're going to go ahead and continue. You can see John Lester here. He's got about 9 batters left. And of course his pull rating is down to a 7. So if he gives up a couple hits or a couple more walks, that number could drop pretty quickly. So we'll see how things play out here. Going into top 6 here. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and just try and speed it up just a little bit here. I'd like to get through these last few innings here in this one video. So probably just speed it up a little bit unless we've come across something that we haven't done so far. Hopefully you can check out these other videos where we go a little bit slower, kind of talk about examples and what all the little symbols mean, but pretty much now we're into our third video and players can see the results and understand pretty much now what all these little symbols mean. You know, if it's a slash, it's going to be a lefty-righty switch, depending on if the batter's a lefty or a righty. Same thing down here. The little @ symbol looks like a ballpark, so of course, we're going to have some kind of ballpark result. We haven't done too much with the question marks yet, but hopefully we might get a few examples with that. All right, let's go ahead and get going here. We got John Jay stepping up here against John Lester. Let's see if Jay can get a hit. So as always, we're going to start off with a roll on the pitcher and see what happens. So 3-4 is an error, G question mark. So we're going to go to John Jay's and find out where it's hit. It's a 3-6, so it is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So in this case, we are going to be checking for an error here. So ground ball 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare Lester's rating. And in this case, remember the first number here, his number 1 is his range. Inside the brackets is your error rating. So again, for Rizzo, this 4 is a range, 3 is his error rating. Lester's got an error rating of 6 here, and we can see that the dice roll is going to be a 14 for the error to see whether or not it falls within Lester's error rating. So 1 to 6 would have been an error, but he's committed no error on that. So he grabs the pitch, bounces off his glove, gathers himself, and throws a strike over to Rizzo at first for the out. So no error on the play. That's too bad. Wainwright's stepping up. We could pull him out of the game and see if he's got. He's probably got maybe another inning or so in him, but with the lead, I think we'll just leave him in there. So we'll go ahead and just try out and see what happens here. 3-5. So column 3. So we've got a possible error here. So we're going to check that out here in just a second. So we'll go to Wainwright's. See what happens with him. It's a 5-4, which is a ground ball to first. Let's see if we have an error rating. He rolls a 1. We compare that to Rizzo, who hardly makes any errors, but you can see it's a 3 in the bracket there, and you can see the program already handily taking care of this for us, and you can see that this box is the one that's highlighted. This one's grayed out. All 3 of these are grayed out. So it looks like Rizzo makes an error and lets Wainwright get on base. Before we do that, we do have to check to see if it's he makes it to first. He has a possibility to make it to second. So it lets you know here that the roll is a 1-base error instead of a 2-base error. So again, the program did all that for you, so you don't have to calculate it and figure it all out. It's basically telling you it is a 1-base error. Obviously, if this was grayed out and this was highlighted here, it would be a 2-base error. So it is a 1-base error. So Wainwright gets on board with Rizzo with the error here. So good thing we didn't pull him. So that was good. And now we'll click here for the next batter. So Wainwright's on first. Strategy has got nothing for roll, but as I mentioned, I think in our last episode, I'm going to be doing all St. Louis offensive strategies, and I'll let the computer decide the Cubs strategies. So with Wainwright in there, we're not going to try anything fancy here. Let's see if Matt Carpenter can come through. So we roll on John Lester's card here. We get a 4-4, which is a possible strikeout. It is a strikeout, so Matt Carpenter strikes out. And we go on to Jason Hayward. Hayward does a 5-2, so another possible strikeout. Now this one is just over the roll. This is, again, 1-13. We rolled a 15, so he didn't strike out. Let's find out if Jason Hayward can get us a base hit. And we do a 1-4, so he hits a double to right field. D9, double to right field. So we'll click on that. Now we need to find out if Wainwright can get it all the way around home. So it's already rolled at Forrest down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And the first die was a 1. So we're going to check the second die and roll on a roll of 1 chart. And it looks like adjusted base running is less than or equal to less than 1, the runner holds. If it's 6 or higher, runner advances, no throw. On a roll of 1 on the throw chart, you're going to check the if it's less than or equal to the player's base running. So if we look at Wainwright's base running, his base running right here is a 0. So if it's less than or equal to the base runner, then the lead runner advances. If roll is less than or equal to the trailing runner's base runner, no adjustment. The trailing runner advances on the throw. If it's higher than his base running, the lead runner advances. If roll is higher than the trailer runner, holds. Okay, so it looks like what you have to take into consideration is the base runner abilities. So it's a 0. And then what you have to take into consideration is the it was a 9, so it's right field. Then you take the player's arm, which is this -1. So 0 minus 1 is going to give us a -1 check on this. All right, so we rolled a 1 on the throw chart. So then we're going to compare his total number, which is a -1 versus the 4. So he does not advance, and you can see that right here by it being in red. So Wainwright's just not fast enough, and throw comes in, and he does not advance past third base there. So that's how that is resolved, and hopefully I got all that right. First time we've actually seen a minus result on here, so that's interesting to see. But it looks like it shows the lead runner advances on a roll of 1 if the die is less than or equal to the trailing runner's base runner, no adjustment. The trailing runner advances on the throw. If it's greater than the base runner, the lead runner advances if roll is higher than the trailing runner's hold. So hopefully I'm reading all that right. I might have to check into that just to make sure. If you guys are out there watching and have any thoughts about this, I believe that he does not advance because this -1 is less than the 4. So that's the way we're going to play it. Second and third, we have 2 outs, so big play here for Matt Holliday. If we're looking at Matt, he's a righty. I'm just wondering if they want to walk him, but Peralta's been pretty hot too, and he's a right-handed hitter as well. So they'll go ahead and pitch to Matt Holliday and see if they can get him out. 6-5 is, this is interesting. So if Matt Holliday was a lefty, it would be a blank result. Since he's a right-handed batter, the result is a walk plus, and again the plus symbol means you're going to get plus 10 to your chance to walk. And remember, against the lefty, Matt Holliday already has a 22, so he's going to have 23 plus 10, so he's going to have another 33. As soon as we click on this, it'll switch it to a 33. So Matt Holliday definitely walks again against the left-handed John Lester, and I believe this is the exact result we had before for Holliday. So Holliday is aboard to load the bases with 2 outs, putting in Johnny Peralta. So hopefully the Cubs can, or the Cardinals can do some damage here with only having 1 run. Hopefully they can get a couple more runs on the board here. We shall see. 3 is an error on a throw possibility. So we don't know exactly what's going on yet, so we need to find out on the batter's card. So let's see what Johnny Peralta does. 5-1. So he hit a single to 4. So he hit a single past the second baseman. So what's going to end up happening here now is we're going to roll against the second baseman to see if he makes an error. He does not make an error, so we can click on the no error. So 18 is higher than his error rating of 0, so he's never really going to make an error. So no error on the play. But Adam Wainwright does score. Jason Hayward goes to third, Matt Holliday to second. Now we need to see, it's just a, they're not going to advance because it was an infield hit. So they're not going to advance because it didn't go in the outfield. Okay? So still bases loaded. Basically everybody moves up a base here on Peralta's hit, infield hit. All right, so 2-0 Cardinals, and we'll go back and see if Cubs can get them out. 3-6 is a range play, which is going to go on the ball field. So we'll click on that. It'll change the card to the ball field, and we're going to roll on it. 2-4. So 2-4 is a fly to right field there. And we need to find out if he has the range to make the catch. So his range is a 2. That's the first number. So on a 1 or 2, he's successful. Look down here, and he does get the 1-2, unfortunately for the Cardinals, and makes a nice catch in the outfield. Otherwise, it would have been a single. That's what this part over here on the right-hand side is. There's another die roll to see if it's a double or a single. But fortunately for Cub fans out there, Soler makes a nice catch in the outfield. Do I need to make any adjustments? Nope, that's fine. Not worried about that right now. All right, so bottom of 6. Wainwright's still at the hilt, throwing a gem of a game. Let's see if he can continue. Possible strikeout. It's a 2, which is way less than his 23. So John Lester definitely strikes out. Going again here. Notice Wainwright still has 8 batters to face, and his pull rating is still an 8. So 2-5 is a blank. Come down here to Tommy Listella. It is a 5-6. It's a ground ball to third base for the out. All right, that's 2 outs. Dexter Fowler steps in. 2-6 is a walk possibility, and the 16 just makes the walk. So good thing the +1 for Wrigley Field gives him a chance to get the walk, and Dexter Fowler is on base. All right, Wainwright against Soler here. 5-4. 5-4 is a possible strikeout. 8 is less than 15, so it is a strikeout. And that's the end of the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. Lester hoping to put at least another inning in the books here. We got a 4-4 possible strikeout. It is not a strikeout. Molina Harley, he's got a pretty well result. I guess he strikes out some, but not a ton. So let's find out what he did do instead of striking out. He hits a 4-4. Against a left-handed pitcher, it's an F. And against a right-hander pitcher, it would have been a double. So Lester is a lefty, so it looks like it's a fly ball to, I believe it's probably going to be 9, so it's going to be right field. Let's go ahead and click it just to find out. 4-4. Fly it out to right field. Yep, okay. Beautiful. Colt Wong steps in. Lester's still throwing well. We have a possibility of a home run here. We have a 1-3. We got an HR. So we're going to be looking at our home run stats over here for Colton Wong. Oh, the dice is nice and low. So when we click this 1-3, possibility of a home run, we're going to compare his home run number versus the dice roll. 2 is less than 4. So this is 1-4. So that is a home run. Colton Wong steps in on a 3-2 count, belts it over center field for a home run, and Cardinals now lead it 3-0. John Jay steps in, center field Mintonay, and it's a 2-3, so it's a ballpark effect. Wrigley Field, we're going to look at 6-3, which is star 1. So again, the stars are going to come up here. Number 1's a G4, so it's a G4 out. And Adam Wainwright's coming up, still 3-0. He still had a few batters to face. He does have a 3-0 lead. I'm just wondering, we have 2 outs. If we're going to replace him, now would be the time to do it. And normally I would probably leave him in there, but what I want to do is just show you what other pitchers' cards are going to look like. So let's go ahead and replace him. So all I have to do is click on his name. It's going to bring up all of the different players. We can click on the pitching. Let's see. Let's look at position. There we go. Let's sort it by position here. So we have, let's look, should be able to bring up the relief pitcher. So I'm just trying to figure out, so this is the first time that I've actually, here, pitcher. Should be pretty self-explanatory. These look like Martinez, Garcia, Lackey, Lynn, and Waka are all the remaining starters. So just trying to figure out where the relief pitchers are going to be. Let me be right back, folks. Okay, folks, sorry. I was thinking I was taking him out to put a new pitcher in, and I'm not actually doing that. That's my mistake. I apologize. I'm taking Wainwright out for a pinch hitter is what I'm doing. So that's why I don't actually see the other pitchers listed. So let's find, we're going up against the lefty, so let's bring in a righty here. Let's bring in Matt Reynolds here. So we're going to put Matt Reynolds in, oops, yeah, he's already in the lineup for Wainwright. So yeah, I apologize. In my mind, I was already thinking ahead that I'm going to have to replace Wainwright. But what we're doing is we're pitch hitting for him. So we're not actually replacing him yet. We'll get to that in his screen coming up, so apologize for that. Back to the game, though. Here we go. So Mark Reynolds is going to step in for Wainwright, who threw a gem. Really good. So let's see if Mark Reynolds can do anything against Lester here. 2-3 is a ballpark effect. Oh, Mark Reynolds gets a chance to do something. Notice these blanks on the ballpark effect are going to bring up special plays. He does have quite a few home run results here. So home run on the pitcher, home run 8, home run 8, home run pitcher. So let's see what happens. We got a 4-2, which is a blank. So speak of the devil, we're going to get us a special rare play. So let's see what happens. So we're going to click on the 4-2, and we'll just slide this down here. So third base goes into the hole to make the play and hurts himself on the play. Resolve play as a ground out 5 range play. So G5 range play. Check for injury to third baseman after the range play. So the range for Bryant is a 3. So a 1-3 he would make the play. And on a 4-6 he does not make the play. So down here in the corner we rolled a 6. So he failed his check. And then we got to find out if it's a single or a double. So 1-4 is a single, 5-6 a double. We rolled a 5. So it's going to be a double dose play here for Mark Reynolds. Made it to first and second as Brian hurt himself making the play. Couldn't crawl over to grab the ball. And left field came running in Farnley and grabbed the ball. But by then Reynolds had already made all the way to second. So failed result there. And then we're going to check on a injury here. Third base goes in the hole to make the play and hurts himself on the play. Resolve is a G5. Check for injury to third base after the range play. Chris Bryant is injured and will miss the remainder of the game. So he was twisted his knee there trying to dive for that ball, got injured, and he will be and the game will basically tell you the result of the injury. You don't have to roll for it. I think it kind of does it behind the scenes for you. So Bryant's injured, so we're going to have to make some adjustments to our lineup here. So let's sort these by, actually let's click on the third base over here. Let's see, who do we have? So obviously the ones in yellow are the players that are currently in the game. So you have Xavier Beatties, 1 home run, 1 stolen base, 4 RBIs. Looks like Jonathan Herrera is probably their best option. So we're going to click on him and bring him over into Chris Bryant's spot. And he's a switch hitter, third baseman. He's got a range of 2 and an error of 8. So that's pretty much how you can just go across and read that. And then whether or not they have a plus or minus to their throwing result. And we'll go back to the game and pick it up. So big 2-out hit there by Mark Reynolds, who comes in and pinch hits for Wainwright and smacks the ball so hard that Chris Bryant twists his knee, is going to be out the remainder of the game. And lots of interesting things happening there. So it's still 2 outs, 3-0 Cardinals. Let's see if they can continue on here. So back to the top of the lineup, Matt Carpenter, who's 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. So Carpenter needs to step up here and do some good stuff. Before I would have rolled this, I would have looked actually up here, and you notice he is in red. And so the game is basically telling you, watch out, because now any result that's in the parentheses is going to count. But because I already rolled it, let's go ahead and just, you don't have to take the player out. Again, it's up to you as the coach, as your replayer. So you have there's nothing in the game forcing you to do it. That's what that option, when we went to the options in the very beginning, one of the options said automatically take the player out when they get to 0, and I turned it on to no. If you want to automatically take them out when they get to 0, then you just leave it as yes, and it'll automatically take this player out. But we'll say that Joe Madden decided to keep in Lester one more pitcher here, or one more batter, and we got a 4-3 result. So maybe he did the right thing because he has a possibility of a strikeout. And yes, it is a strikeout. So good thing that we didn't end up into the brackets there, because I would have felt bad for that. But it does give you that nice big warning there. Hey, wait a minute, watch out. So that's okay. We'll no harm, no foul. So now I get to pick my reliever here, and one of the biggest problems I have with doing replays a lot of times and playing games, different sports games, is I don't remember every single player and every single team, and I don't know how many times did this guy come in and pitch? How many times did this guy come in and pitch? Is this guy a short reliever? Is this guy a closer? A lot of games don't actually tell you that information. This game does a great job of just basically explaining it to you in their rate here. So you know that Kevin Seagrass here can basically face 4 batters. That's what his rating is, a 4. This guy can face 4. This guy can face 2. He can face 4, 3, 4, 4, blah, 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 down the line. So you can see basically how many batters you're going to be putting this player in for. And, of course, their pull rating over here on the right-hand side. So if Seagrass comes in and he gives up a base hit, he should be taken out. And, of course, whether or not they throw left or right. So, and, of course, all their other important things that you can look, how many innings did they pitch, what was their ERA, etc. So let's just slide this out of the way and see what we got coming up. We got a lefty, a righty, and then a lefty, and then a switchy, and then a righty. All right, so let's assume we go left, right, left. So we're going to bring in a lefty. So we're going to sort by left. Can we sort? Maybe we can't. Okay. So we're going to bring in Kevin Seagrass. Notice that if you want, you can have the computer roll some dice for you, and it'll randomly determine who should come in. And this way you're not favoring one team over another. If you're just playing a neutral game or whatever, you can just click on the roll button. Let's see, can I click on the range? How do I click the roll? Maybe I can't do that. Maybe I didn't set these options. Just trying to think. Select reliever, back to game. Yep. All right. So, anyways, yeah, there is a nice chart there. I'm not sure how to get the die to roll, and I'm sure there's people out there who probably know a little bit better what they're doing there. But this is the first time I've actually ever pulled a player. But we're going to bring in Seagrass there, right? So you can view his card, take a look at what he's got on it, see what his, if he gives up lots of base hits, or what his pickoff rating might be, what his ranges are against lefties, and what his ranges are against righties. So we got 2 lefties coming up. So giving up a home run, it's going to be a 1-4, and then when Castro comes up, he's a righty, he's going to be 1-10. So I think Seagrass is going to work out well for us. So we're going to go back to the game. And notice Kevin Seagrass' card is up there. So there we go. All right, so let's see what Seagrass can do against Anthony Rizzo there. And we get SA256. So 2-5. This is a lefty, so he is going against a lefty. So it's a walk plus for a lefty batter, and against a righty it would be a blank. So in this case, didn't work out for us too well, because the walk plus is going to give him an extra 10. The ballpark's going to give him another 1, so his walk is 25. So Rizzo's aboard with the walk. All right, so Castro comes up. He's a righty, so have to watch out for that lefty-righty switch. Let's see what happens. We got a 5-2, so we got a ballpark effect. Let's see what happens with the ballpark here. A 4-1 is a star 2. So again, a star is going to be an automatic out. So we're going to click on that. Now we need to find out whether or not it was an out, a double play or not. So let's see, just wondering if I clicked on something here. Strategy roll 1d20, steal attempt, hold, plus attack, try to do. Okay, beautiful. Nope, looks like just it was a ballpark effect, and it was a automatic out. So notice his pitcher card here is already down to a 0 here. So again, it's highlighted for us. But with the lefty coming up, Mike Matheny is going to go ahead and leave him in and see if he can get the lefty-lefty matchup here. Although the lefty-lefty matchup didn't work so well for us, but let's see what happens. So we got a 6-2. Again, bad. We got a walk plus, so he's giving up another walk. That's it for Seagrass. Click pitcher's name below to remove him from the game. Oh, okay, sorry. Down here, we guess we could come on here. This is what I was trying to get earlier. Is you can see his actual 2015 results. He was 7 wins, 1 losses. Looks like 6 saves, ERA 2.17, 74.2 innings pitched, gives up 53 home runs and 90 strikeouts and 32 bases on balls, although he's just not having his a good old time today. So okay, so yes, just I gotta click on here. I bet is where. Yes, okay, there we go. Alrighty, see, I'm a newbie. I admitted it in the beginning. So let's see what we got coming up. We got a switchy and then a righty. So let's see if we can find somebody that can do decent against right-handed pitches. So can we get a roll? Can we get a roll? No, we can't get a roll yet. Okay, that's fine. We only need somebody for a couple outs, so we're going to bring him in. There we go. All right, so let's see what happens. It is 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Cubs have got something going. As soon as Matheny took out Wainwright, the Cubs strike. Let's see what we can do here. Ooh, 3-1. Oh my gosh, another walk, but no. And even with the plus symbol, Jonathan Herrera must not walk very well because he's getting plus 10 there and he's getting plus 1 here. So he's getting a plus 11, so his walk must be a 1. So Jonathan Herrera hardly ever walks, and so we'll find out what he does. Instead of walks, he does a 3-5, which is a question mark 7. So it could be a single, 1-6. It could be a double, 7-13. It could be a triple, 14-17. In this case, it's a 3. So click the die type. So a 3 is going to be a single. So he singles. Now we need to find out what happens to the other runners here. So the first dice we rolled was a 6. So we're going to check the second die. The second die is a 1. The lead runner advances, ball cut off, and the trailing runner is thrown out. So the lead runner, which happens to be third base, is Rizzo. He's going to score. So he advances. And then as Chris Colgan is trying to go from second to third, he's thrown out. So the trailing runner is thrown out. So he is thrown out. So Cardinals give up a run for a out, a very important out because now there is 2 outs. And he did not run. He only made a single. Yes. Yes, Jonathan Herrera singles to left. Rizzo to third. Chris Colgan to second. Rizzo scores. Colin is thrown out at third. All right. So 2 outs. Big out there. So let's see if Baselli can get the last out here. 1-5 is a possible strikeout. 10 is well within the 1-19. So David Ross strikes out a bunch, and that's the end of the inning. But the Cubs do plate someone 3-1, and we're going into the 8th and 9th innings. So I'm going to pick up the pace here so we can try to finish this game here. Lester, we know he's coming out. So John Lester, we're going to replace him. For the Cardinals, we have a lefty, 2 righties, and a lefty, and then a righty. So a lefty first. James Russell. Let's see, he appeared in 49 games, so pretty regular player coming in. So yeah, we'll give it to James Russell there. Back to the game there. James Russell's card. Here we go. It is a 2-3. 2-3 is a possible walk. It does. 12 falls within the 14, so it's a walk. And nope. Now we have. I have been forgetting, I will admit. So if I've missed one of these, I apologize. But as the Cardinals, remember, I'm going to dictate the offense here for them. So the computer's saying to try, it rolled a steal attempt. So I'm going to go ahead and try that just so we can see how that plays out. Okay. So stealing 1d20, and we got to. I probably should have completed that. I wasn't sure if I had to do them both at the same time, but the runner was actually thrown out. So it actually happened before this play started. So let's go ahead and. He was caught stealing, which is CS, caught stealing. So Hayward's not very fast. He has a couple steals, I believe. He's not really slow. But anyways, back to what we're doing here. We got a new player, Matt Holliday. We got a 5-5, so we got a range play. So we get to check out the Cubs defense here. And what did Holliday do with the pitch? He did a 6-5, did a ground ball to third baseman Herrera, who's come in for Chris Bryant, who's injured. He's got a range of 1-2, so 1-2 he's going to make the play. Otherwise, Holliday is going to be on base with the error here. Oh, he is successful. I'm sorry, not the error, the range. But he is successful, makes it. Otherwise, it would have been a double. So, unfortunate for the Cardinals. But Herrera comes in and shows a little bit of glove there. So, nice job for him. The reliever, again, he can face one more batter before he's tired. So we're going to go ahead and do it. 1-5 is we got a lefty-righty switch here. So on the left-hand side, it's a strikeout. On the right-hand side, it's a home run. So we have a possibility of a home run. We look down here, and Johnny Peralta has a home run rating of 1-20. And 14 falls in that range, so Johnny Peralta hits himself a home run, and the Cardinals get that run rate back here in the top of the 8th. Maybe they should have taken out Russell, I guess, but you just never know in this game. So the Cardinals have a lefty coming up, then a righty, and then 2 more lefties. So we'll bring in a lefty again here. 45 games. He's got. He can face 5 batters. So we're going to bring in Travis Wood there. Back to the game there. And you can see over here on the pitcher's card, instead of the information over here on the left, when they're relieving, they're over here on the right-hand side. So that's where that is. Shows his relief appearances. And then, of course, how many batters he can face. And this is his pull rating. So if he gives up 2... base hits, or base hit and a walk, or base hit and a run, then you should pull him out of there. But Travis Wood's coming in. I'm trying to get a few other pitcher cards in here so you guys can see other results that might pop in. All right, so 6-6, 18, so we got a possibility of a strikeout, but nope, Mac Adams is not that bad. So he's going to get a chance to swing away. And he hits a 5-3, so he hit a L3 there. So lined out to a first baseman. So let's see. Baselli is a righty. We got Travis Wood, which is the pitcher. We're going to go ahead and I should have looked at that, but we're going to go ahead and bring in. Let's see who's pitching for the Cardinals. We have a righty in there, so let's see if they have a lefty. They do have a lefty. Mike Baxter. Let's see what Mike did here. No home runs, no stolen bases. Let's see who other lefty we have here. Montero. He's pretty good. 15 home runs, 53 RBIs. Yeah, we'll bring in Montero in, and it's put him already up there. So there we go. So Manuel Montero. All right, trying to do this a little faster, but for all these pitching switching and stuff, it's not going as fast. So 5-4, maybe an error on a ground ball. Let's see what happens. Let's see here where Montero hits it. 3-4. It's a P3. So he popped out to first base. So the error didn't come in because it wasn't a ground ball. It was a pop out. So no error on the play. And that's 1 out. So Tommy Garcia is coming up. It's a 1-4. So nope. Now we got an error on just about anything here. Error question mark. And let's see what happens here. So we're going to be checking our error ratings here. So 2-5. 2-5 is G4. So Wong's error is only a 1-6. Is going to be an error. Anything higher than that, and you can see the computer rolled to 17 and tells us no error on Wong. So 2 outs, and it's a 5-4, 5-4. Another possible error on a ground ball, and let's see where Dexter Fowler hits it. A ground ball, 5-1. It's a fly out to right field, so no error. And now Chicago needs to bring in a pitcher here. Down 4-1 into the 9th inning here. We're going to do... let's do Jason Motts there. Just because he's the old Cardinal. He was one of my favorite pitchers on the Cardinals. He was their closer for a couple years there. And then he got to the Cubs there. I liked him when he was with the Cardinals. So we'll go ahead and bring in Jason Mott there. All right, so the righty-righty matchup works out well for it anyways, so I didn't mean to do that on purpose, but, you know. Anyways, 6-2 is a K or a walk if he was tired. He's not tired, so it's a possible strikeout. Molina again. This is his 4th time up, and I think 3 of the 4 times he's been up, he's had this result where it could have been a strikeout, and then we had to roll in his card. He hasn't done a lot from his card. 6-1 is a fly out to left field that time, but it's interesting that we had that result on him several times. So. Colton Wong, who had a big home run last time he was up. Let's see if he can have a repeat performance here. It's a 2-1, so possible error on a ground ball. And let's see where it's hit. It's a 2-1 again, so it's a ground ball to second base. So error, Lasella never makes errors, so it's going to be no error on him. So that's just going to be an out for Colton Wong, 2 outs. And we got a 2-5, which is a blank. And so John Jay on his card, it's a 6-1, so it's a star 4, automatic out, flied out to left field. So Matheny here is going to be taking out and bringing in the closer, Trevor Rosenthal. He can face 4 and ERA 2.1, and notice he's got 48 saves, so back to the game. So Trevor Rosenthal, let's see if he can take down. All right, so we do have a righty, and he is a righty as well. So do they want to replace Solar in right field, Rizzo and Castro? It's kind of the heart of their order right here. So 2, 3, and 4. I think we'll just go ahead, and even though it's 2 of them are righties, I think we'll just let them. I think, if I was playing the Cubs manager, I'm trying to be fair and honest, even though I'm rooting for the Cardinals. But I'm trying to be fair and honest. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. I don't think he would sub the 2, 3, and 4 just to get the lefty-righty switch. Let's see. This is a righty, so he hits a home run against righties at 9. He walks a lot less, and he strikes out less. So yeah, I think he's actually a good matchup. So we'll leave him in there. 6-6. Oh, look at that. Possible strikeout right off the bat. And we just looked at that. And it's not a strikeout because of the 17. So let's see what he can do. That's a 6-1. Oh, fly to left. So didn't work out. Now we got Rizzo here. I don't think we're going to take out one of Chicago's main players. Rizzo here has a 16 home run chance against any pitcher. So I'll leave him in there and hope he can do something. 4-5. 4-5 is possible error and a ground ball. Let's see if we get an error. It is a 3-1. It is a ground ball to second. Colton Wong. 1-6 is an error. No error, so Colton Wong makes the play, throws it over to first. And the Cubs are down to their last out here, losing 4-1. Rosenthal. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 6-2. So here we got a lefty-righty switch. He is a righty, so this is actually going to be a blank. So we're going to go ahead and roll on Castro's card. And it's a 2-4, which is a pop-up to 4, which would have been second base. And, yep, popped out to second. And Chicago defeats, St. Louis defeats Chicago. First game of the 2015 Major League Baseball season, 4-1. It goes to the Cardinals. So, yep, I was going, again, really slow, kind of talking and explaining things. I'm going to go ahead and do some more videos of this game. So don't look for those to come, obviously. But I think what we'll do is we'll do those, kind of much faster, unless, of course, you come across some strange, unique play or something like that. Here's, you can click on, obviously, find out the play-by-play, all of the details there. You can look at the game stats here. Nice little chart here. You can actually save this as an HTML or as a text file. So, keep these, print them out, if you're doing a replay. Tells you all about what had happened. You can look at the MVPs, how well they did. And, of course, then you can save the stats, which I will save the stats. There we go. And save the stats for Chicago. Yep. And there we go. We got those stats for our 2015 replay season going on, if you wanted to do that. So, excellent. So that is sure. Yep. I didn't want to talk over that. That's awesome. Again, Inside Pitch Baseball, lots and lots of videos for this game to come. I foresee lots and lots of use. A great game, very interesting. It's got all the strategy. It's got all the stats. I don't like these games that, you roll 2 6-sided dice and then you just look on either the pitcher card or the batter card and it's like double, single or whatever, This game actually has some flow and shows you how the players are interacting. And hopefully in the last couple videos you got a chance to see how, you're not just looking at the pitcher, you're not just looking at the batter, you're comparing and you're looking and you're analyzing between these players. And of course you have the lefty-righty switch going on, you got the ballpark effects. Absolutely, positively so happy that I have come across Inside Sports Games series of sports games. We've done some hockey demo videos to kind of show you the hockey game, and now hopefully we're going to be doing a bunch of the inside pitch baseball. Definitely go to their website, insidesportsgames.org. They have football, baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, tons and tons of different games, all well done, tons and tons of seasons for you to download and play out. And of course you can check out the forums as well. So hopefully this has been a little bit informative for you guys. Again, I went slow. I kind of took my time most of the game because, number one, I'm a newbie. I'm trying to show you I'm not a veteran playing this. If I can do it, and I learned it in by playing 2 or 3 innings, and you at home, if you're unfamiliar with this game, if you are unfamiliar with the series at all, you can pick this up, buy it, and be able to play it within 15-20 minutes. Occasionally you might have to look at the rules, but at 10 seconds I found out every one of my questions I had within like 10 seconds in the rule book. It's well laid out, gives you examples. Okay, if this is a result, what do I do? Well, this is what you do. You check this and look for this and blah blah blah, and you're done. Boom. And then you come back and you go, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. And now once you do it like 2 or 3 times, then you know what you're doing. So, and there's only a few really kind of tricky situations that we ran into. Hopefully we got them all right. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. More Inside Pitch Baseball to come. Again, if you're interested, check out the InsideSportsGames.org and let them know that ID Jester sent you. Give a shout out and let them know that you checked out my videos, and that's how you found out about their wonderful game. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.